Aloha guys, it's Joe Tunney here at Kona Nissan and Kona Dodge, just off the Queen K Highway on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. And today we are going to do a review comparing the 2017 Nissan Titan Cummins Turbo Diesel versus the 2017 Ram Cummins Turbo Diesel, the only two vehicles sold in North America that feature Cummins diesel engines. Now, diesel, as you may or may not know, was patented in 1899 by Rudolph Diesel. It was the first compression ignition engine. It was designed to replace steam power, not conventional gas power. It wasn't until 1919, Indiana mechanic named Aisin Cummins designed a compression ignition diesel engine that was used in vehicle applications like pickup trucks. By the 1950s, thanks to World War II and the post-World War II highway boom, Aisin Cummins turbo diesel engines and conventional diesel engines accounted for over half of all diesel engines in the world. They literally paved the superhighways and paved the way to a bold new future throughout the United States particularly. And that's where Cummins gets its chops. That's why people are so fond of Cummins engines. Not because they're designed to be truck engines. These are actually the two smallest engines that Cummins makes. A 5-liter V8 engine for the Nissan, a 6.7-liter inline 6 for the Ram. The size of Cummins normal engines, they're designed actually for locomotives or heavy industrial applications, giant ships, that sort of thing. Their newest engine isn't 5 liters or 6.7 liters, it's 120 liters V20 engine with 5,000 horsepower that needs its first major overhaul after it goes through 1.7 million gallons of gas. That's how reliable that Cummins diesel engines are, and that's why they're so coveted in pickup trucks. Now, this is brand new. As of 2016, Nissan's never had Cummins diesel engines, and so in 2016 this diesel engine came with a 5-year 100,000-mile warranty. In 2017 the entire truck comes with a comprehensive 5-year 100,000-mile warranty. This one features 310 horsepower, 555 foot-pounds of torque, and although that's less torque than pretty much all the other big boys in the 3/4 and 1-ton segment, you have to remember this is not a 3/4 or 1-ton. It's a conventional half-ton, but it's kind of a right size heavy half-ton. So it's bigger and has more power and more pulling capacity than a conventional half-ton, but not as much as a 3/4 ton. Let's take a look around. New for 2016, the 2017 Titan has particularly sleek lines. It's a very stylish truck on the exterior. So again, if it's the one vehicle that you have to drive every day, it's not so utilitarian as a traditional heavy-duty pickup. It's actually quite comfortable. Let's pop inside and find out just how comfortable it is. Coming around, we can see that the interior is very elegant, very refined. The luxury division of Nissan is Infinity, and with the two-tone coordinating stitching along the dash, the very soft leather upholstery, the gorgeous wood trim, this is as stylish as you're going to find in their luxury division. Again, if this is the only thing that you're driving every day, why relegate yourself to something that's more Spartan, a little bit more industrial? Why not have something that's comfortable and refined and polished? That's what's nice about the half-ton. It doesn't have the heavy-duty rear suspension that a 3/4 ton or 1-ton truck's going to have, so it has a more relaxed driving manner than a traditional heavy-duty truck. Let's jump in back and see how the room is in the back seat. Well, the room in the back seat is fabulous. So the wheelbase on the Titan is a nudge over 151 inches. So it's much more like a full-size sport utility, and it fits inside like a full-size sport utility. You also have kind of a baby version of theater seating, so the back seats are just a click higher than the front seats, so your view isn't entirely of the headrest in front of you. You have a pretty decent view outside the front windshield, which is a nice touch. Let's jump in back. Soft touch rear tailgate, and so you don't have to fiddle with that. One thing you'll notice under the tailgate is these are set up to tow right out of the get-go. This one tows 12,000 pounds, actually a little less than 12,000 pounds at 11,890. The tongue weight, that's the weight that's distributed right here, is 10% of that. So 1,189 pound maximum tongue weight. And that doesn't matter if you're directly bolting something in or using a weight distributing hitch. It's always going to be that. But that's going to be for 99% of the applications more than enough. And then roughly 12,000 pound towing capacity, that's going to be more than enough for just about everybody. It has the built-in Utilitrack system, it has the spray-in bed liner. It's actually set up right out of the box for pretty much everything that you're going to need to do. Now, comparing that to the Ram, this is a pretty well accessorized SLT Ram that checks in at about $2,000 more expensive than the Nissan, so it's a pretty fair comparison. The first thing that I notice is the bed feels just a click larger than that is in the Nissan. I don't know if it actually, the ultimate size is a little bit bigger. It's just the visual test tells me I'm going to squeeze in a tiny bit more here than I am in the Nissan. One thing I'm going to notice about 3/4 ton trucks, however, is that instead of 12,000 plus or minus pounds of towing capacity, these are going to have 18,000 pounds plus or minus of trailer tow capacity. So a full 50% more pulling power than you're going to be enjoying in the Nissan, and that's going to be a huge consideration to earn your valuable dollar. Let's jump in the back seat and take a look. Inside, well, this setup is just a click under 150-inch wheelbase. It's really not that big of a difference. If I look at the legroom, does it feel that different? Not really. I've heard people in some of the reviews say that the Nissan has a more dramatically different rear seat. I don't know if it's dramatically different. Honestly, it feels exactly the same to me. The shoulder room, maybe it's a tiny bit smaller, I don't know. Feels just fine to me. I would be very comfortable. One thing I would notice though is that for my $2,000 more expensive, I'm getting cloth interior, not leather interior. Let's jump in front and take a look there. One thing I notice here is that the mirrors, if we can see on the camera on the Nissan, actually, if I give it a little bit, probably more than that, a little bit of a pull, I can actually stretch them out so that they're trailer tow mirrors without having to do anything else. So I don't have to buy a second mirror if I'm going to trailer tow. It already has a big mirror on the Dodge, but that is one nice advantage for the Nissan. One other advantage is the money. So I'm spending $2,000 more to enjoy the pulling power of this Dodge. However, I'm getting vinyl flooring as opposed to fully carpeted flooring. I'm not getting that glamorous wood interior trim. I'm not getting that high-end infinity quote-unquote level of refinement. What I'm getting is a darn fine truck that does everything that I need it to do. If my most important aspect of buying a truck is pulling power, it's absolutely a no-brainer. If the most important thing for me is the combination of lots of pulling power and really opulent luxury, again, there's no choice. It's just Nissan owns one category, Dodge owns the other category. Now, if you remember, Mercedes used to have a very substantial investment in Dodge, and so this transmission is a holdover from that. It's the Mercedes G56 6-speed transmission. So you have a heavy-duty Cummins engine with a Mercedes-built 6-speed transmission. There's no close runner-up on this program. It's the best diesel/manual shift application that there is in the entire world. However, most drivers are going to enjoy getting the 68 RFE Mopar transmission. With the G56, you're going to enjoy 660 foot-pounds of torque matched to 350 horsepower. So right off the get-go, the least powerful performance version has over 100 foot-pounds of torque more than the Nissan. But you step up to that 68 RFE and the torque goes up to 800 foot-pounds of torque. Probably far more than a normal person would ever need. But if you're not normal and you need something even heavier duty, the absolute best transmission out there is the Aisin 69RC. That is the strongest transmission I know of in the entire world, and that's what Mopar uses to connect to a 900 foot-pound engine that is part of the dually package, or the 1-ton 3500 Ram, and that is probably the single finest application in the world. Where you would use something like that, well, we see heavy haulers in the car business all the time, and they need 8 or 9 cars of towing capacity, because they'll have those double-decker trailers, and so 3,000 pounds times 9 cars is 27,000 pounds, and so you need an actual semi-tractor trailer to pull that, or so you might think. You can actually do that with a conventional footprint 1-ton Dodge. You're never going to do something like that in the Nissan. If it was me, I really like the luxury, the versatility, and style of the Nissan, and saving a couple of $1,000s, that works for me as well. But like a lot of you, if you're trailer towing some pretty heavy stuff, there's no close runner-up. It's the Ram all the way. If you have any questions about either the Nissan or the Ram truck, please don't hesitate to reach out. My name is Joe Tunney. You can reach me anytime at joeloveshawaii@gmail.com.